Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Engineer Omboy. I'm so grateful for this wonderful opportunity for CFLAB to be able to share the last mile delivery case for Kenya and other developing countries. And in today's conversation, we'll be sharing about some of the ways to make drone delivery sustainable. As Engineer Omboy has mentioned, my name is James Munyoki. I do have 10 years of experience in aircraft design. I've designed aircraft locally, that is drones locally and for international companies. And we have also been able to operate drones successfully here in Kenya. And previously, I've also worked for an airline, and I've worked as a propulsion engineer, research and development engineer, and other previous roles in engineering as well. So a little bit about SwiftLab. SwiftLab is a company that has license to operate drones in this country, a license that has been given by Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. A very tedious process for you to get it because it goes through a multidisciplinary review where you have security agencies reviewing, confirming that you're actually going to do what it is that you're doing. You're saying you're going to do a lot of security measures are put in place, a lot of vetting and those kind of stuff. So I'm glad to report that SwiftLab is one of those very few companies, probably less than 10 companies with license to operate drones in Kenya. We also stand out in another area, which is manufacturing of state-of-the-art drones. We do have the authorization to build. And I think actually currently we are the only ones in Kenya who have the authority to build, customize, and design drones in Kenya. So far, we've gotten a lot of prospective clients, as you shall see in this presentation, and we have a very wonderful young team of pilots and engineers, and we also have in our management team some of the people with very good experience in business leadership. So, what about SwiftLab? What we're doing at SwiftLab is we are redefining medical logistics as we know it.
Yeah, please now take over.
We're redefining medical logistics as we know it. And our goal here is to ensure people who for a long time have been deprived critical medical supplies due to limiting infrastructure, natural causes, and insecurity have a chance now to have equitable resources, equitable supply of drugs and critical needed supplies. So our technology here is going to be leapfrogging the expensive road infrastructure, and you're going to ensure that you deliver value and you deliver these goods anytime, irrespective of the weather, irrespective of the roads, whether it's a conflicting situation, we will always be there. Drones fly high up, and they're going to be able to deliver without any insecurities to the people operating them. So as mentioned, we talked about the current situation where we have limited road infrastructure, and that goes ahead to deny access to supplies to more than 1 million people in this country. So you can just imagine how many more people in Africa. And remember, Kenya is one of the countries with very good infrastructure. So in Africa, it would actually be a very big number that is actually missing out on access of this. So on medical transportation, we have seen this is the current state at the moment. We have seen situations where lab samples can take up to 8 hours from remote clinics, as I'll show in my next slide. It can take up about 8 hours to a main lab. And we have also seen situations where we have about 13 days turnaround to get your results back for HIV, which shouldn't be happening in this age. We have also seen situations where we have budget allocations of about 70% purely on logistics. A majority of the budget that goes into medical, about 70% of it goes into logistics. Then it makes you wonder, are we actually really in medical in medical industry, or are we actually in transport industry? So these are some of the challenges that Swift drones are actually here to resolve. And we're talking about reducing 8 hours of lead time to about 40 hours. People who have been getting 13 days turnaround of test results, who don't make this possible within 24 hours and push the envelope a bit further. On logistics, we would want to bring the cost down at least by 20%. And as we continue scaling and as the volumes continue, we're going to be seeing that cost come down significantly. Here's a case of HIV transports, HIV tests, where you see majority of the time we use these pickup trucks that take about 4.5 hours from remote clinics. And then they're brought somewhere for aggregation, transported again very far for testing, and results are sent back. And these are viral load samples, not just the normal quick testing. So within all these, you find there's a lot of inefficiencies, loss of information, and sometimes can actually take about 13 days. A drone would take a turnaround of 7 days to get results. And our target here is to ensure people get same-day results. So here's our solution. We've designed a drone, and we have several prototypes that we've developed and tested, and we're in the process of testing and pushing the drone a bit further. We've gotten some good seed investment from Vilgro, which is going to help us come up with an MVP product, so that we can finally have this product that can do 70 kilometers, 2 hours of flight time, 4 kilos of payload, and fully autonomous, and vertical takeoff and landing. This is quite interesting because it's quite different from what you're seeing currently in Africa, where goods are being dropped from the air. We guys are talking about landing vertically and having the goods drawn by either a nurse or someone who's trained, and engaging the community, ensuring they're involved in this, so that it's not just technology that's just above them. So we have this vertical takeoff platform that we've designed. You've seen it in previous slides, the actual drone. And yeah, so it can do 70 kilometers and can do pick and drop, which is one of the challenges that people are facing in this day, where they fly and they can't actually pick up, where you drop samples, you drop medicine, but you cannot pick up samples. We are talking about delivering of medicine and picking samples or whatever else that might be needed. So these are some of the routes that we've mapped out. We have very good partnership with the county of Nanyuki, Laikipia, sorry. And these are some of the routes that we're looking at. And you can see what the difference here. And you can see places like from Nyahururu to Muruti, we are mapping a distance of about 43 kilometers, and we are looking forward to achieving it within 20 minutes. That can really save life, and it can really improve on efficiencies. So these are some of the areas we've mapped out in Laikipia, where we're going to be launching some of the pilot programs. So how does it work? For SwiftLab, we're going to be setting up what we call Nest in different counties. We're going to be starting up with Turkana, Tanariva, Kitui, and Laikipia. We're going to be setting up a Nest, and then you order packages, and immediately the health worker is notified about that departure of that aircraft. And soon before landing, we also notify the health worker that we are close by, and then they assign someone to come and collect those items from the drone, and they can load whatever else that might need to go to different health center. So our model is quite different. It's not just hub and spoke. As you can see here, we are able to hop from different clinics to collect whatever is required, and then bring it back to the nest for distribution. So that's the kind of model that we are approaching, and that's why we have a vertical takeoff and landing drone for this. So to be able to accomplish these kind of things, there are several challenges and several hurdles that we have to overcome. Some of these are bad connectivity, limiting infrastructure, landing areas might be a problem because we'll be landing in parking lots. Of course, there's going to be challenges from Civil Aviation Authority asking you what happens if a cow comes to the landing space, all these kind of things. And SwiftLab has actually gone ahead of most of the companies to come up with these very wonderful solutions, as you shall see in this slide. This is what we're doing. We're doing some work on machine learning, AI, where we're teaching our drones to identify trees, animals, houses, and be able to ensure we have safe landing, as you shall see in this next slide. This is our office in Upper Hill. As you can see from the video, those are some identifications going on. That's one of our drone making a landing, identifying cars, trees, people, chairs, and those kind of stuff. We're still under development. We are in partnership with NVIDIA as well in developing this solution. It's going to be one of a kind, a solution that we're also going to be considering patenting as well. So that's object recognition, and it's in early prototypes. We are pushing the envelope, and we're going to ensure before we do deliveries, probably in June, it's going to be working fully. So we move on to the second challenge that is going to that is facing drone operations in Africa. We do realize that in Africa we have about 60% of our population is under the age of 25. We have one of the youngest population across the world, and we have also seen that majority of drone operators are not from Africa. Most people who are doing drone delivery are actually companies from the West, Europe, and the likes in Africa. And this leaves a big gap, and it makes it impossible for Africans to actually take part in this. And this is one of the challenges that we have to overcome so that people can feel they're part of these drone operations. And we need to do this by creating jobs and also ensuring that our youth are engaged in these operations. So as mentioned, I was talking about the impact of not having local technology. And I was saying the lack of having local companies take part in delivery of in development of drone solution leads to lack of technology transfer by the West countries, and also there's little or no maintenance opportunities. There are no jobs being created to the youth. If so, very, very little. There's also high cost of operation because drones will break down in Africa and they have to be sent back to Europe for repair. So it's very high cost, and it's going to drive the cost of delivery and making it unsustainable. The subject of capital flight is a very sensitive conversation where we're just making payout to Africa, and that money is not being spent here to create job opportunities, build schools and hospitals, and build companies that can actually help the young talent. So the solution on drones to be scalable, it has to be localized. Again, also, I was talking about creating decent jobs. How to make these drones sustainable and delivery sustainable is by localization of this technology, ensuring that we carry out proper analysis and involve residents and minimize duplication of efforts and solutions, to complement the existing solutions and not to come and disrupt Boda Boda and the Matatus and the likes. Just complement. That's the only way to make it sustainable. Affordable drones to enable scaling. Currently, the cost of a drone, delivery drone, the lowest you might find is probably about $40,000. That's not scalable. SwiftLab is working towards bringing this cost down to about $20,000, and eventually, with time, will come down all the way to about $10,000. And that's the only way to ensure this is affordable. Fortunately for us, we're not just whining. We have seen a lot of enabling situations. Take, for example, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority has released some of the most progressive drone regulations, and we've seen innovators and entrepreneurs get involved. And we're seeing a lot of companies being registered, and that's a positive. We're seeing Africa has majority of the youth population, as you shall see in a next slide. That's good news because also the level of education is quite good. Africans are capable of doing whatever is being done in the West, and they're young people, youthful, and quite excited about technology. You can tell by the way we adopt technology in Kenya. We are also seeing first-hand experience. If the technology is developed by locals, it's going to be market fit, and that's one of the reasons why we are doing whatever we are doing. Digital manufacturing, we have seen capabilities come on board, Africans on the table and on the forefront to do 3D printing to ensure that we have affordable manufacturing. One of the success that we have as a company is we recently signed up Kenya Postal Corporation of Kenya, and we're going to be doing deliveries in Tana River sometime mid this year. As you can see, that is the route. We've just winded up with mapping the routes. And yeah, this is going to be quite something. Be on the lookout for sometime mid this year. It's going to be happening between us and Posta and other partners that we invite from this forum today. Some of the partners that we have Posta, we have Vilcro, who have been quite supportive, especially development of our drones. We have Kwanza Technopolis. They've taken us through accelerator programs, county governments, and other companies like Bloodlink and We Robotics, people with a lot of experience in blood and other things. There are more partners who might not be on this slide, but yeah, I can report that we're doing quite well with our partners and clients. Wonderful team at SwiftLab. We have very young people. a representation of what this continent is, a continent made of 60% young people. Yes, so you can see right here we have a drone that is locally made. We do have other drone here that is locally assembled for other purposes. So basically that's about it. Key take home, I hope you can just remember that we Africans have the ability to do what is required. We Kenyans have the ability, we have the talent, and we have all the skills that are required. It's just a matter of time. Thank you so much.